ट्राई कर तो यार फर्स्ट हमें कॉन्फ्रेंस वाला भी करनी है, कॉन्फ्रेंस वाला भी जरूरी है ना, क्या बात चाहता है। हाँ तो अरे यार मुझे भी हिस्सा बनाने की कोई जरूरी नहीं है यार, इसलिए जो मैं ज्यादा एक सारे करते हैं कि हमसे पहले नहीं किया हमने, इससे पिछली बार मैं किया था आपको सारे सब कुछ चुके और ये एक्टिविटी तो होती है ना यार, तो अपन जाओ तो कुछ बैठना पड़ेगा उसमें बिल्कुल ज्यादा नहीं लगेगा आपको कोई आप कर देंगे तो आप पहले बीमा ऑफिस को कर लेना तो टाइम देगा तो वहां कितना टाइम लगेगा, बस 12 बजे भी निकलोगे तो आप चलो यार देख लो, तो फिर किसी दिन और चले जाना, ये जरूरी है यार, कल कल करते हुए आ जाए।
क्या कैमरा का बैकग्राउंड कहाँ इसमें एडिट हो रहा है?
शैली जी आवाज आ रही है आपको?
हाँ जी सर आ रही है।
मैं एक पीपीटी शेयर कर रहा हूँ, बहुत ज्यादा शैली जी, my PPT is visible or not?
Yes sir, your PPT is visible.
It's just a trial, अभी सर आएंगे तो हम
हाँ जी।
कंटिन्यू करेंगे।
Okay sir. Good morning everyone. We'll start with our first session.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning. We'll start our first session. At 10.
A chatbot, we have to write the present.
Yes love.
I mean, in the chat box, we have to write present.
You may do so.
Okay.
Also guys, just stop marking your attendance, once we'll start with the session because it would act as a distraction for the speaker. So you can mark your presence in the chat box when it would be a break or when the session is not ongoing. You guys can do that during break, I guess. Because right now the notification will keep coming up.
Ma'am, right now also PPT is getting visible because it is not visible to me.
No, the PPT is not visible right now.
Okay, ma'am.
Hello, good morning, everyone. I am audible and visible to you now.
Yes, sir. Very good morning, sir.
Good morning. Thank you.
Good morning.
Yeah, please continue.
So, with your due permission, I would like to officially start with the session.
Yeah, please carry on.
Good morning, everyone. It is our privilege to welcome Professor Dr. G.K. Goswami for today's session on the topic
This meeting is being recorded and summarized.
Science in the Courtroom, the Role of Forensic Investigation in Criminal Justice. So, it is my privilege to introduce you. Sir is an outstanding police officer, academician, and global authority at the interface of law, forensic science, and criminal justice. An IPS officer of the 1997 batch, born on the Uttar Pradesh cadre, Dr. Goswami serves as the founder director of the Uttar Pradesh State Institute of Forensic Sciences, Lucknow, in the rank of Additional Director General of Police. Coming from a rural background, his journey as one of India's most decorated police officers is truly inspiring. Sir is a rare scholar practitioner holding 2 PhDs, one in medical chemistry and the other in law. He is also a Fulbright Nehru Fellow, having pursued advanced research at the Cornell Law School, US, on wrongful convictions and innocence claims. Sir has served with distinction in the CBI as Chief of ATS Uttar Pradesh and as an expert with the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crimes, a 3-time recipient of the Police Medal for Gallantry. Dr. Goswami is also a prolific author, distinguished professor of law at leading institutions, and a sought-after trainer of judges, police officers, and policy makers. We are honored to have you here today, sir. The floor is yours.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you, ma'am, for very wide description and introduction to me. And it's really very nice in the morning itself. I am from Lucknow, just sitting in my office, and outside it is raining, so it's a bit cold. And I believe NCR is also facing the same. So I hope you are taking proper care of your health. And of course, this is a very good initiative by NHRC. I must congratulate the leadership and all associated officers and staff who are organizing such a wonderful interaction. And internship for young brains. You are from diverse field, right from legal background, the engineering background, the dental, medical fields, and so on and so forth. So I will try to restrict myself, and I must thank personally Miss Sally also for organizing all these things. Today we are going to discuss about how forensic justice can be achieved. What is the role of forensic science? How legal compliances are important. So although earlier I was thinking to go for extempore talk, but then I decide that I will, for around 30 minutes, I will stick to the presentation. I will share that presentation with you through Sally. And but I will be giving around half an hour time to talk about how law and technology or law and science needs integration. What is the data protection? Why data protection or DPDP Act? I don't know how many of you are aware about Data Protection Act and all. How that is very important for everybody of us. It is not the matter of technocrats. It is not matter of legal experts or in the courtroom. How all these things are very essential to know by common man. All of us know that now cybercrime becomes very much challenging, right? How cybercrime is connected with AI, how AI agent can be the criminal of the next generation, and it is not the next generation, they are already existing. Very recently, I wrote an article in Economic Times about cybercrime as a service, right? So, आप उसको upload करो. Cybercrime as a service. Now you just see that earlier, whenever we visit any place like say Delhi or any other town or city or India or abroad, we were facing problem that how to get transport, residence, other basic amenities. But nowadays you can book air tickets, you can book hotels, you can get food across without any time limitation, 24/7 and all services. So now anything as a service. So that way, cybercrime as a service. So now services are available even to conduct or to commit crime. So that is the biggest challenge society and everybody of us are aware and are going to face. So how to deal with it, that part also I want to just touch because time is only 1 hour, but I will try to give you at least 5-7 minutes in the end if you have any question. Alternatively, if you have any query or anything afterwards also, you can connect me with my mobile number and email. I will share that with you also, right? So thank you once again for all of you to have attending this subject. So we will be talking about forensic justice because forensic justice may be in criminal matters. It assists criminal cases, even the civil matters, say for example, paternity determination and various other civil disputes like property disputes and many more, right? The various disputes may be like say for example, in bank, there may be some contract. So the signature, handwriting and various other things. So one thing you should understand that don't think that forensic science is only limited to courtroom. Okay, it is basically a mindset. It is a cognitive power. Forensics is a cognitive power. What I mean to say, cognitive power to explore truth. Just imagine that can we survive in any decision making, whether it is a very small thing or anything what we take any decision without knowing truth. So truth is the essence of life. Without knowing truth, our relationship cannot sustain. Every time we'll say, भाई देखो झूठ मत बोलो. I don't like झूठ. आपको जो गलती भी है उसको भी मान लो, but मुझे सच्चाई चाहिए. तो सच्चाई जो है, this truth is the essence of the society, essence of our relationship. And forensic is a tool, my dear friends, to explore truth. So do you think that forensic can only be limited to court? Forensic is very much in our mindset. It is still existing in our cognitive power. I give you one example. Although it must come through the slides, but it is a context, so I will not restrict to my slides. I will rather like to be extempore so that these type of talks should not be, it is not a syllabus type of matter. I will try to give you as much as possible in next 50 minutes or so. So just imagine Solomon justice. Everybody of us heard at some point in time in our life that in Solomon's court, he was known for his justice system. And two women, they came fighting for the motherhood of his child. And he asked to call his men to bring a sword, and he just acted like to cut the child to two pieces to divide. And one lady cried, saying that don't kill, hand over the custody of the child to the other lady. And the king says that she is the mother. There was no DNA, there was no fingerprint, nothing. So it is basically forensics is our cognitive power. It enhances your capacity to explore truth. That's the forensic, mindset. So don't limit yourself that, oh, I am not a forensic expert. I'm not a judge. I am historian. I am a sociologist. I'm a psychologist. So don't think those ways, because this is essential for everybody of us to understand. So what we will talk about, what is forensic science and connect to justice system. What are the advantage of forensic evidence? What is so great with that? Why forensic evidence and forensic science become so, talk of the town in last 2 to 3 years? What is so important about that? What is DNA forensics? Because DNA forensics is very well known. Then new innovations. We will talk about what we are doing and what you can also contribute and think beyond your subjects and disciplines. What are the futuristic forensics? So we will be talking I know time and again. See, what is law? If I ask, and I tell you very frankly that there is no specific or particular definition of law. So law cannot be defined, it can only be described. So we define difference between description and definition. Okay. So if a layman asks, and law is something like, say for example, law, there is a say or there is a doctrine or there is a Latin maxim. You need not to remember that and no need to cram that. That ignorance of law is no excuse. Ignorancia of law is no excuse, non excusat. That is the Latin formula. So you whether are illiterate, literate, you have studied law, never studied law. You may be living in a very isolated area of some tribal belt or so. But law expects you that you must know the law of the land. Why? Why it is so important? Because if suppose somebody kill a person, beat a person, stole something, and says that I was not aware about your law. So how can you treat me before the court? Because I am unknown. So that is why there is a presumption that everybody should know law. So that's the very much presence. Otherwise, there will be lawlessness. There will be chaotic society. Okay. But if suppose somebody comes to you and asks that, look, man, I'm not a legal person. I have never studied law. I'm maybe illiterate. I don't know much. But you expect me to know law. So what is law? Tell me in a very, very simple manner. So just these 3 words, remember this JRF. You are all young students, so you must have heard about JRF, Junior Research Fellowship. So remember from that, I have stolen these 3 words from JRF, Junior Research Fellowship. So J means, what is legal? Legal means if that act, what you are doing, if that act emanates justice, then only it can be legal. You go to US, you go to India, you go to night, go to day, maybe 1957, 1990, whatever, irrespective of time and space, that act will be legal, which emanates justice. If you are doing injustice to anybody, then it will be illegal wherever you are, right? This is one is just. Another is reasonable. Reasonable means logical, right? Rational. R means rational, logical, right? Reasonable. And here the logic is the essence of our life. And if you see, the law has logic, science has logic. So here law and science both integrate. So legal is a science, social is a science, political is a science, right? So systematic knowledge actually you are providing. So R means reasonable. I give you very simple. If I talk in little bit Hindi, anybody has any issue? No?
No, sir.
Okay, fine. तो आप जरा ये सोचिए कि कोई ये कहता है कि भाई ये तो बहुत बकवास करता है, ये बहुत अच्छा बोलते हैं, ठीक है? What is that? What is bakwas in very simple language? Bakwas is nothing but illogical. Talking illogical is, in a common sense, is called bakwas. And everybody want to be very profound speaker. So what you have to do? You have to be logical. You have to be reasonable. You want to be very powerful, you can say speaker, you have to argue better. So what lawyer do in the court? The argumentation based on logic. So try to improve your logical thinking. You know, whatever you say, it should have some logic. The third is the fairness. Fairness is not with fair and lovely. Fairness means transparency. Okay? Transparency means there is no partisan, there is no favoritism, there is no discrimination. It should be that you must have, justice should not be done, it should be seen also. So fairness is, my dear friend, it is the seen part of justice. It should be crystal clear. जैसे कहते हैं ना, ये तो आईने की तरह साफ है. So this fairness is very, very important. So these are the three words. I hope, because time is less, I could have spoken more, but we have to move fast. See here our national father, Mahatma Gandhi ji, very beloved personality of our not only nation, but he's a global figure, right? We should feel pride. So here he is actually looking something which is invisible, which cannot be seen by naked eye. So this microscope is magnifying something which is not visible. What is that? That is basically microscopic thing. So here, if we replace this microscope hypothetically with forensic science, so what forensic science will help here? Forensic science will magnify the truth which is otherwise hidden. You got my point? I hope it makes sense to you. And justice and truth, they are harbinger of humanity. We'll talk how. This combination of these three terms, just remember these three terms, and I tell you, in my opinion, these are the elixir of life. If you understand the nuance of these three words, it is very important in decision making. Whether decisions are taken in the court or we are taking in a routine decision in our life. These three words actually help us to take the correct decision, right? So if you say something that what is the one attribute in any society, irrespective of time and space, then probably it is justice. किसी भी व्यक्ति ने चाहे कितने भी अपराध किए हों, इनजस्टिस किए हों, लेकिन वो अपने लिए क्या कहेगा? मुझे जस्टिस चाहिए. Nobody, और आप में से कोई है जो इनजस्टिस चाहता है? Is there anyone of you? I don't think. और ऐसा तो है नहीं कि हमने किसी के साथ इनजस्टिस ना किया हो. In whatever small manner or big manner, whatever. So justice is the ultimate objective, and good governance is also measured the level of justice, the quality of justice we deliver to the system. और पुराने टाइम में देखिए, हम कोई भी राजा होता था, हम ये नहीं कहते थे वो बड़ा धनवान थे, राजा बड़ा न्यायप्रिय थे. सो राजा की जो न्यायप्रियता है, सिस्टम की जो न्यायप्रियता है, वो हमारी डेमोक्रेसी हो चाहे कोई भी गवर्नेंस हो, उसकी एक बहुत बड़ी यार्डस्टिक. सो इफ यू डू नॉट हैव ए वेरी strong and robust justice system, society cannot grow. I believe you agree to it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So how to reach to justice? We reach to justice through finding or exploring truth. Without knowing truth, you cannot reach to justice. But what we do in the investigation, in inquiry, we explore truth. Without truth, you cannot reach to justice. But if you see these two terms, justice and truth, they are intangible, अमूर्त हैं. अमूर्त का मतलब एक आदमी कहेगा ये जस्टिस है, दूसरा कहेगा ये तो इनजस्टिस है. एक कहेगा ये ट्रूथ है, ये कहेगा तो ये तो ट्रूथ नहीं है, राइट? Because there is no measuring capacity, there is nothing to quantify, so they are tangible, intangible. What brings them tangibility? It is the evidence. Evidence brings tangibility. Like say for example, rape case hai. The police is saying that he is an accused. The accused is saying no, I am not. But if you go for DNA and DNA prove that DNA is matching, that means the prosecution is right, he is a culprit. And if DNA not matching, then the accused is right, he is innocent. So what is the tangible? Tangible is the DNA report. Okay. I hope you agree to my point. Okay. Now, let's see what we have evidence in general in our system. The most of the time we depend, even in the court, mostly on oral evidence, the human testimonies. And human testimony, my dear friends, they are very defective sometimes. There may be some personal vendetta, there may be some planted witness, there may be some misrepresentation of fact, there may be hostility because of some reason, maybe by threat, by money, or by so many other reasons. So if we are totally depend on oral testimony, then there are chances of miscarriage of justice. So what we need something which is scientifically proved, which do not take side, which has something can be done, not only depend on whether you have seen the instance or not. So that is nothing but forensic science. So forensic science is a corroborative evidence to support and aid the oral witnesses, the circumstantial evidence. So forensic evidence are very powerful tool. So if I give you a mathematical construct that what is the link between these three. So if you put a Ganit ka formula hai, quality of evidence is directly proportional to quality of justice. If your evidence are poor, they are tempered, they are not righteous, then you cannot deliver justice properly. And there is a say that a judge delivers judgment and it is your good luck if you get justice. Why? It is not that judge is not competent, judge is fully competent, but because if evidence are compromised, then what a judge can do? So judge is squarely dependent on the evidence collected by the police or other agencies. So always give emphasis on quality of evidence rather than any other thing. I agree. I hope you agree. Can we move ahead or any question? Okay. So here there is a observation by Justice Mirdha when he was retiring from Delhi High Court on 7th July 2021. He mentioned in his farewell speech, in the court of justice, both parties know the truth. It is the judge who is on trial. Right? You agree to this point or not? Here I add, it is not only judge, it is the entire judicial system. It is the entire criminal justice system. It is the police also. It is the prosecution also. It is the forensic scientist also. Those who are on trial, on the system. So it is the collective responsibility of all the actors of criminal justice system, whether it is police, whether it is the witnesses, whether forensic experts, whether other relevant parties, the victim also important, because if victim get hostile, then definitely there are chances of some difficulty in delivering justice and so on and so forth, right? So here I will, as I said, I will skip few things, right? So what is forensic science? Forensic science is nothing but integration of law with science. साइंस और लॉ का शादी करा दो, जो उसका प्रोडक्ट होगा वो फोरेंसिक जस्टिस होगा. ओके, एंड यू मस्ट एंजॉय द मैरिज ऑफ लॉ एंड साइंस. एंड विदाउट लॉ, फोरेंसिक साइंस इज प्योर साइंस. आप अगर केवल और केवल लैब में जाओगे और आप टेस्ट करोगे तो वो क्या है? वो तो केमिस्ट्री की लैब कोई भी अलग हो सकती है. तो व्हाट इज सो ग्रेट इन फोरेंसिक साइंस? until unless you know the legal things, because that result will ultimately lead to the courtroom proceeding. That's the important point. So until and unless you integrate science and technology with law, you cannot achieve the goal of forensic justice. You understood? I am not asking you that a forensic expert should be legal expert as well, but they should know the terminology. They should know which section of law it is important. If suppose somebody asks, you are a DNA expert or cyber expert or fingerprint. If somebody asks that, look, Mr. Expert or Mrs. Expert, whosoever you are, that please tell me that you are an expert. Explain how you can claim yourself an expert. If you are not aware that what are the necessity to or the ingredient of an expert, how can you defend your report? This is the basic question. And I tell you, 90% of our experts, they are very brilliant in our laboratory, but once they go to the court, they face a lot of problems because of legal language. What happens there? It is something like in the courtroom, just imagine a scenario of courtroom. What happens there? That there is two type of persons or the actors. One is the legal battery, the judge from legal side, prosecutor legal side, defense lawyer legal side. On the other side, there is a scientist called forensic expert. Forensic expert does not know the legal language. The legal people does not know the scientific language. तो होता क्या है, एक रसिया में बात कर रहा है और दूसरा भोजपुरी में बात कर रहा है. How can you integrate? How can you understand? So there are a lot of misunderstanding. Scientists say that they don't know anything. The other side, the legal side, and legal says ये तो पता नहीं क्या क्या बोलते रहते हैं, ये DNA मैच कर गया, ये नहीं कर गया, कैसे कर गया, क्यों कर गया, कुछ पता नहीं है. So this integration is the key for success. Okay. So now again, I'm just jumping here and there. Yeah. So this is another important slide because many of you are from different, and this is human right premise you are seeing. This is very, very important slide for you to propagate and to foster the elements of human right in your mindset and your thinking, your operations, your vision by and large. You just see, we generally think about conviction only, right? I am a police officer. I generally say that when we get conviction in the court, we clap, and when we get acquittal, we mourn. But this should not be. We should not be party. We should be not either pro prosecution or pro defense. We should be pro justice. If a person is actually culprit, he should only be punished. It is not that as if anybody can be punished. Now you see here, when Madam Sally was introducing me, she mentioned about my visit to US, particularly Cornell Law School, as Fulbright Fellow. And there I had, other than my other responsibility, I underwent for about 1 year a project on wrongful conviction and innocence claim, right? And that finding I culminated into my second postdoctoral LLD. Recently, National Law University, Patiala has awarded me that second postdoctoral. Anyway, so here I give you a few examples because time is less. I don't have time to speak everything. Just see this first case, Camden Wonder case. It was as old as 1660. Closely now around 500 years back, roughly, right? Maybe quarter century less than 600 years, 500 years, right? The story goes like this, that a gentleman with his family named Richard, just forget the name, it will come to my mind back. He was about 70-year-old, that fellow, okay? And he went to collect rent from the neighboring village, okay? And he did not turn up in the evening. The night started. The worried wife actually sent her 12-year-old servant, home servant, named Perry, to search the old man. William, his name was Richard William, okay? So neither William came back nor Perry. Afterwards, when the night got deeper, the son of the old man and few neighbors, they went out to search both of them. So they could not find either, but they got one scarf and one hat having some red color, likely to be like a blood or something. In the morning, police caught Perry and claimed that Perry had confessed that he, at the age of 12, his brother, age of 14, and their mother, they have killed the old man while he was coming back to rob the money he was collected from different rent properties. And cutting story short, all three were awarded death penalty and they were hanged. And your surprise, after 1.5 years, the gentleman, 70-year-old, after around 72-year-old, that time, after 1.5 years of their execution, that person came back. So this is not only one case. There are thousands and thousands cases across globe. There is a project called Innocence Project in US. Just note down, and I sincerely request, because you are here, that will sensitize you a lot. I had opportunity to work with this Innocence Project in US, particularly in New York. The founders are very great persons. They are my mentor also for this project, particularly Barry Sack and Peter Newfield. They both, I worked with them about 6-8 months continuously, going from Cornell to New York multiple times. So these are such type of cases. In our country, this Anokhi Lal case, I request you, and one thing which I want to suggest you, and that I have one YouTube channel with my name, Dr. G.K. Goswami IPS, YouTube channel. There I regularly in the evening at 6 o'clock, you will get something or other for your purpose, for a common man. Very simple things which are not necessary from the legal side, from forensic side, from various other domain. So in that, I have also talked about Anokhi Lal case. So please subscribe that channel and you will get advantage of so many things happening around. One thing, because you are young, I sincerely advise you as elder that be active on social media, particularly LinkedIn profile. Have your LinkedIn profile, very, very powerful tool, and that is highly professional approach. Explore your field, search people who are working good in your field and ask them to join as your friend or whatever you can say, right? Subscriber. So with that, you come to know so many things, what is happening across the globe. The social media is a very, very powerful tool, my dear friends, these days. But how best we are using, it depends on you. This is AI. It is artificial intelligent system. They know how intelligent we are. हम भी तो जैसा आदमी का सवाल होता है वैसा जवाब देते हैं ना. So if we are not giving them intelligent question or prompt, they will also respond in a very, weak manner. So we should know as young professionals how to use best the social media, power of social media these days. So definitely you should be immediately on LinkedIn. Try to grow yourself on that platform. Try to connect those people who are of your field. Give at least half an hour time for social media to upgrade yourself what is happening all around, right? That is very, very important part, and make this habit. Start writing something in your field, whatever is happening. Write something, maybe 5 line, 10 line. That will give you a lot of confidence. Paste on your wall, maybe on Facebook, maybe on your other channels, LinkedIn and all. Those who have started writing something, they can also subscribe ResearchGate. That is yet another very powerful, social media platform. So don't be isolated. Every time we are seeing different type of entertainment. In our age, Madhuri Dixit was dancing on the floor. Nowadays, the other will be dancing. This dancing business, all these things, entertainment is very important, undoubtedly. But that is not the end of our, exploration of knowledge. We should also give, you have to take care of our two things. One is our mental health, another is our physical health. Give some time. You are very young, but this is the time you should get. And I always say that a human being is not only human being, any other creature also. We are all servant to our habits. जैसी आदत डालोगे वैसा हो जाएगा. आप नमक तेज खाने की आदत डाल दो, आपको वही अच्छा लगने लगेगा. So make your habits good, learn better, and always have good company. Your peer group decide lot of things in your life. And I tell you, I am not against the friendship and all, but choose your peer very selectively. If your peer is not good, then definitely it will adversely affect your future. Be very careful. Now your focus should be on your career profile. You develop your other relationship also, intimate relationship as well, I don't mind. But this is your graduation time, post-graduation time must be focused for your future, because the entire life will depend where you land ultimately. And the simplest way of doing best in life is study. Simplest way. So why don't we do that? And other things can be done. The, intimate, means close relationship, other things can be done at any point of time, but graduation cannot be done again. Your learning cannot be done again. So it is the time actually to focus on your career. There is a time for everything. So with that, Anokhi Lal is also very important case, because in Anokhi Lal, this boy at the age of 21, having no education, very much marginalized, he was being sent to jail for killing and raping a girl of 9-year-old. And cutting story short, in 3 trials, it's a very, very, heart-wrenching case. After 3rd trial, it was found that he was innocent, and the DNA report was misinterpreted. The vaginal swab says that he is innocent, and there was a 3rd person, male, who was responsible, and neither police nor judiciary could acknowledge that fact from the report. So many times we ignorantly miss so many crucial facts which may lead to miscarriage of justice, to that extent that person may be even hanged. And these are the facts which are not just the presumptions, they are the fact of life, fact in the multiple countries, country like US and UK. If you see all these things, this innocence claims and project, you will find so many cases, right? I can cite so many examples, but as you know, the time is less. So here, this slide, again, some significance, human identification, right? See, human identification is most important for us. If you see the criminal side, there are 2 parties, one is victim, another is accused or suspect. So the entire investigation, entire trial is doing what? Finding the correct person, who is the victim or who is the wrongdoer or the perpetrator. Kaise? Suppose there is a child who may not be knowing the name, address, maybe 6 months, maybe 2 days, maybe 1 year, unable to describe his identity. But if you have to connect that who is the victim. Sometimes victim may be intoxicated, sometimes may be dead, the face is visible, but you don't know who he or she is. Sometimes you get depleted body, sometimes bones and all. So victim identification is very, very challenging. Likewise, even if the FIR has named, then also you need to have correct identification that this is the man or this is the person who is responsible for this crime. So human identification is focal or the centric to investigation and trial, whatever justice system. So these are some tools, morphological features. We try to ask कैसा था, लंबा था, क्या उम्र थी, मोटा था, फेस कैसा था, बाल कैसे थे, like that. Photography sometime. These days the CCTV cameras are also important. Fingerprint, then blood group serological studies, voice sample, DNA. DNA is very important for human identification. This is a very most important tool. Then we have digital evidence. Digital evidence is something like तू जहां जहां चलेगा मेरा साया साथ होगा. Your mobile phone, if I just get your data, I can tell you everything damn what you are doing. कितने बजे आप सोते हैं, किस किस से बात करते हैं, कौन आपके दोस्त हैं, किन से आप क्या शेयर करते हैं, कौन से बैंक में जाते हैं, स्विगी से क्या क्या खाते हैं, कितने बजे खाते हैं, क्या चीज नहीं है जो आपके उस एक छोटे से मोबाइल डेटा से पता चल जाए. Don't you think so? So your fingerprint are less important than your digital footprints. Digital footprint give you everything. What bank you use, how many times you use the bank, what not. So our digital data explain and know more than what we know ourselves. So be very, very cautious and careful while you are using the digital wall. And nothing can be removed from digital wall. Once written, written forever. That is the another thing that today we can find that or not. आजकल एक पता है आपको, अभी एक ये है कि अब जो नया बजवर्ड है क्रिमिनल डोमेन में, या इवन you can say those who are playing with the data, they say that harvest now, you please harvest the data now and you can decrypt later, right? So even if it is not decrypted, there will be tool. How many of you are aware about quantum computing are at your doorstep? Quantum computing, right? So these are the facts anyway. So this is forensic science. As I say, what is forensic science? Science blend with law, or you can say the use of science for the application or for upliftment of justice system. That we also, but I always say that don't limit it to the courtroom proceedings and all. It's basically, in my opinion, forensic science is a mindset. It is your cognitive power to explore truth. Now you use it, you want to use it in the courtroom, it's your choice. You want to use for yourself, you want to use in your professional work, it's your choice. So earlier what we were thinking that forensic science use or application is only courtroom, I think it is much beyond. That's what I want to convey to you. Just a minute, there is a call. Can you just give me a minute's time? बस मैं आपको 5 मिनट मिला क्या, मैं ग्राहक में गिरा था, हमने अभी मैं इससे पहले भूल जाऊं, मैं आपको एक और अनाउंसमेंट करना चाहता था, आपसे शेयर करना कि हमारा जो इंस्टीट्यूट है ये यूपीएसएफ लखनऊ, इसमें 3 इंस्टीट्यूट में हमारे स्कूल्स हैं. एक है फोरेंसिक साइंस जिसमें ग्रेजुएशन पोस्ट ग्रेजुएशन है, और दूसरा है टेक्नोलॉजी का जो बीटेक है, कंप्यूटर इंजीनियरिंग विद साइबर क्राइम, साइबर फोरेंसिक्स, और तीसरा लीगल स्टडीज जिसमें बीएससी एलएलबी है 5 ईयर, और एलएलएम के 2 कोर्स हैं, साइबर लॉ विद साइबर फोरेंसिक्स एंड क्रिमिनल लॉ विद फोरेंसिक्स, राइट. अभी हम लोग मई एंड में वी विल बी कंडक्टिंग 1.5 month internship for pan India students. There will be 100 seats, limited seats. We do not have. Those who want to get hostel facility, we will provide, and we will soon provide you the application form. I think maybe in a week time or so. We have given the advertisement, but I think the application process will start soon. And it is a very, very aftersort things, because what we have introduced the concept called law with labs. Nowadays, the integration of law and technology, law and science is very, very important. That is the way what we have started. So we were just discussing about forensic science. So forensic science is blending of science and law. The advantage is that it brings the scientific temper into the investigation and criminal justice system. It enhances probity and marching towards perfect justice. एक चीज मैं और बताना चाहता हूँ, शायद इस स्लाइड पे नहीं है वो, but just remember one thing important. In courtroom, which is admissible, just note down these 3 points. That is very, very crucial and important. हम कोर्ट में किस चीज को कोर्ट हमारी बात को मानेगा, इसके 3 छोटे से प्रिंसिपल हैं. 3 वर्ड में बताऊंगा, इसको जरूर याद रखिएगा. कहीं पे भी आप जाएं, this will be a very, you can say, a thumb rule for you. One is the relevance. One is relevance. जैसे मान लिया कोई मर्डर का मामला है, अब जो चीज आप बोल रहे हो वो उस मर्डर से कहीं रेलिवेंट है भी या नहीं. मान लिया किसी आदमी का मर्डर हुआ और आप कह रहे हो उसका मर्डर हुआ है 2025 में, और आप कह रहे हो कि 1980 में इसने हाई स्कूल किया था, तो उस फैक्ट का ये फैक्ट सही है, बट दैट हैज नो कनेक्शन विद द क्राइम, राइट? सो रेलिवेंस इज वेरी, वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट. व्हेन यू से एनीथिंग, the court will see whether it is relevant or not. Number 1. Number 2, the reliability or the genuineness of that fact, what you are saying. Maybe forensic expert report, maybe your statement, maybe any document, maybe any seizure, maybe weapon, the murder weapon or crime weapon, whatever. So that should be the reliability, whether that evidence is reliable or not, whether it is genuine or not. That is number 2. Number 3 is legal compliance. सपोज करिए आप कन्फेशन कहते हैं कि भाई आपने कन्फेशन किया किसी क्रिमिनल ने, ठीक है, और वो कह भी रहा है कि हाँ मैंने कन्फेस किया, नहीं, लेकिन उसको करने के क्या है, पुलिस के सामने दिया हुआ कन्फेशन एडमिसिबल नहीं है, और आपने कन्फेशन रिकॉर्ड कर लिया पुलिस के द्वारा, तो वो जो एविडेंस है वो एडमिसिबल नहीं होगा, राइट? So these are the 3 very, very important points just to understand, and that are not only for court, even for your purpose also. मान लिया कोई आप बात कर रहे हैं, ठीक है, मान लिया घर पे 2 बच्चे हैं और एक ने गिलास तोड़ दिया, अब ये पता नहीं है किसने तोड़ा, ठीक है, और वो कोई उसमें बात कर रहे हैं, बच्चे कह रहे हैं, तो आप किस बात के बारे में आप करोगे, रेलिवेंस क्या होगी, जो उस संबंध में बताए कि ये गिलास से संबंधित कोई बात अगर होगी तो आप उसको मानोगे, ठीक है. अब वो जो बोल रहा है वो कितना सही बोल रहा है आपको ये देखना है. बच्चा है तो वो झूठ तो नहीं बोल रहा है, तो वो रिलायबिलिटी कितनी है. अगर उसमें कोई ऐसी चीज है जिसमें यहाँ तो चलो घर में लीगल कंप्लायंस की बात शायद उतनी नहीं हो, तो ये 3 चीजों को आप जरूर याद रखिए. दैट विल हेल्प यू अ लॉट इन योर डे टू डे वर्क. अब मैं ऐसा करता हूं, इसमें तो बहुत कुछ छूट गया है, आपको मैं स्लाइड शेयर कर दूंगा, और ये जो सारा चीजें हैं बहुत कुछ इसमें जो मेरा ये मैंने आपको चैनल बताया उसका पहला ही जो है ना, जो उसमें येलो से पाता है, व्हाई शुड आई नो फोरेंसिक साइंस, उसमें अच्छा डिटेल में है, करीब 2 घंटे की वो पूरी लाइव सेशन है वो, उसमें आपको बहुत सारी चीजें मिल जाएंगी. एंड इफ यू सब्सक्राइब दैट चैनल यू विल गेट सो मच ऑफ कंटेंट एवरी डे विच इज वेरी लाइट, वेरी सिंपल, not very tough, but that will upgrade your understanding not only in the field of law, but it will be lending you in a good manner. If those who are interested to read, I will suggest these 3 readings. At least Just Mercy you must read sometime, maybe whenever you get time, some summer time or whatever, and you get the movie also with the same name, Just Mercy. It is, I think, 1 hour or 15 minutes or so. But if you read this book, it will entirely change your mindset. And I think for those who are listening me here, from the human rights officials, please arrange these 3 books in your library. These are the, you can say, the best book I have read in my life in this field. Right, Sally, if you can think, yeah, please. You can suggest Madam also. Anupama, your DG is, by the way, batchmate of my wife. very good and close friend. So you can talk about her that I have recommended it. She knows me well, right?
Yes, sir.
So
Noted.
now I conclude this part, and just because time is now very limited, so I will just tell you about what exactly is the data protection. Data is, my dear friend, is the oil, new oil. Data is the power. Why America or other countries are very powerful? Because most of the data what we have, that is being stored in their clouds. There are 13 clouds across the globe. 10 are lying in US. I think the country like us now realize that we should contain our data in our territory. That's the most important part. If we are sharing our entire data just for one reason or other, I think it's a blunder we can think of. So the sovereignty now, it is not the political sovereignty, it is the digital sovereignty also. I give you one example. Suppose you lose your mobile phone with data. Maybe the cost of mobile may be 20,000, and you lose, say, 1 lakh rupees at a time. And the thief says that either you take your mobile phone with data or 1 lakh rupees. There is choice only. You can get one. Which you will be preferred? I hope most of you will prefer mobile phone with data. It is not that you are doing something wrong in that. No. But there are so many privacy issues. My mobile numbers are there, my photographs are there, my different other documents may be there. So that is the power of the data, right? And what happened, why this data DPDP Act is very important. एक चीज मैं और बताना चाहता था, वो थोड़ा छूट गया, मैं इस पे ले आता हूँ आपको बाद में, वो मेरे दिमाग से। यहाँ इस स्लाइड को और देखो, इससे पहले क्यों इतनी ज्यादा आग लगी हुई है इस टाइम पे फोरेंसिक साइंस में, क्यों हर आदमी फोरेंसिक की बात कर रहा है? गवर्नमेंट इज सो मच ऑफ इन फेवर ऑफ फोरेंसिक साइंस. आवर ऑनरेबल चीफ मिनिस्टर ऑफ यूपी, he talks about crime control, he talks about means enhancing the forensic laboratory facilities, and third is that he has created this institute where I am the founding director. So why forensic science becomes, so see this last line, this 176.3. You might be aware that government of India has completely changed the three criminal laws. One was IPC of 1860, another was Evidence Act of 1872, and CRPC earlier of 1898, and later we changed it to 1973. These were the British origin laws. They were basically designed to serve the British or colonial power. They were not Indianized. So what government of India or our Indian parliament, we have enacted 3 laws, criminal laws in 2023, and they have been implemented from 1st July 2024. Remember this date, 1st July 2024. Okay. इसमें जो हमारी सीआरपीसी थी पहले, सीआरपीसी, उसका जो नया वर्जन है वो है भारतीय नागरिक सुरक्षा संहिता. यू सी द लास्ट लाइन, भारतीय नागरिक सुरक्षा संहिता, एक्ट नंबर 46 ऑफ 2023, which is written in the last line of this slide. Okay. इसमें 176.3 एक नई सेक्शन जोड़ी गई है. We have introduced section 176.3, which is the new addition, which was never been earlier. What does it say? It says that in those crimes where punishment is either 7 years or more, right? When the police station get information of such crime, the station house officer or the SHO will direct forensic expert to visit crime scene to collect evidence. It is mandatory now. Earlier it was choice. Whether police collect DNA, police collect fingerprint was optional. Now it has been compulsorily being made. That is one compulsory collection of forensic evidence. Number 2, it is mandatory. Earlier, I never heard in my life, except some cases in CBI, that we have called forensic expert on scene of crime. Now it is mandatory. So with the effect of this introduction of this law, now the requirement of forensic expert, the laboratory has increased multifold. So the scope for the employment right? The scope for you can say business, for equipments, for services, for different other things is exponential. The government has last year allotted about 2,400 crores of rupees. This year, the projection is about 27,000 crores for forensic science expansion. 27,000 crores. Probably the budget will very soon be announced. So just imagine the emphasis. So you all have potential to become forensic expert in some point in time. The another important thing what we have introduced in our institute is the concept called law with labs, integration of law and science and technology, right? See, don't think that law is always for punishment. Law is for bringing discipline, bringing order in the society. आप याद करिए जब छोटे से बच्चे थे, मम्मा डांटती थी, कभी कभी एक स्लैपिंग भी होती थी, ये मत करो वो मत करो, ठीक है? वो क्या था? Just to make us discipline, right? So law is a tool of discipline to bring order in the society. Just imagine if there is no law, how can we survive? So law is the tool for survival in a better peaceful society. So punishment is only for those who are deviant from the legal requirement, right? So don't think that law means punishment, and that is why the name of our Indian Penal Code had been changed. Earlier it was showing as if it is for the punishment. Now it is for Nyaya, Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita. So Indian Penal Code has been transformed to Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita. तो अगर कोई आपसे ये पूछे जो नए कानून है उनकी क्या दशा और दिशा है, तो दंड से न्याय की होगी. We have shifted our complete horizon of our criminal justice system from punishment to justice. And what we have introduced, law with labs. So we are trying to give for the scientist, for the you can say forensic expert, the technocrat, BTech students, we take them to the legal side for the technocrat. Because until unless your technology is legally compliant. Say for example, आज तक cryptocurrency public domain में क्यों नहीं आ पाई? Just imagine, because it is not legally compliant. The reason is कि जो हमारा 100 रुपए का नोट है, 500 का है, जो भी है 1000 का है, उसे हम क्या लिखा होता है उस पे? जो गवर्नर है हमारे रिजर्व बैंक के, वो आपको ऑथराइज करते हैं. मैं धारक को 100 रुपया देने का अधिकार देता हूं, ठीक है? But cryptocurrency में कौन देगा? So it is not legally compliant, and that is why cryptocurrency can never be a currency, right? आप valuable ले सकते हो, gold लेकर के उसे कहीं भी बेच सकते हो, but cryptocurrency, because currency cannot be without any authorization. So it is the legal compliance. Likewise in our life, what product you want? You want ISI product, ISO product. So that is nothing but they qualify certain conditionalities. So that is how this business is very important, right? And data protection, now I understood that time is less, hardly now 3-4 minutes are left out. So I don't want to take much of time. I know lot many things to be discussed, but certainly at some point in time, we will meet again. And we are soon, very soon introducing some online course at very can say अभी तो हम पूरे शुरू में प्रो बोनो ला रहे हैं, उनको आप ज्वाइन कर सकते हैं very soon. For the we are bringing law for the technocrat and scientists and science and technology for others persons like common type, right? With this I conclude my talk. I know that a lot of things could not be covered, but anyway, the life will ask us to meet sometime later, and I can meet you every day through YouTube channels. I keep writing a lot, so if you are following my LinkedIn and others, means every day there will be so much to read and to exchange notes with each other. With this, thank you very much for patience listening. And yeah.
Thank you so much, sir, for such an informative and interesting session. It was really, you have really explained everything in the most simple words possible. Thank you so much.
Any
It was
question
an
anybody
honor.
has quickly, if anybody has anything to say? Any observation? Yes, I think some hand is raised. You can just please give them access if possible quickly. Or you can write in the chat box.
Chat box.
Yes, if possible. Yeah.
Good morning, sir. I have a question.
Yeah, please carry on.
Sir, there is a general saying that humans can lie, but science or things do not. That's the basis of forensic science, according to me.
Yes.
So, but however, its evidentiary values, like you said, it's just corroborative. And the science is slowly moving to be very accurate. Do you think it will reach a point that it might override like oral evidences? Because people the evidentiary value is mostly opinionated in this case. Do you think it will increase in future?
See, there are two things very important to understand. Number one, forensic science has two components. One is the technology, another is the procedure, right? So technology, and you have raised this question, so I will just tell you that what kind of technology are accepted in the court. There are two tests. One is called Fry test in 1923. Another is called Dover test, DAUBERT, Dover test of 1993. तो ये तो हुआ आपको टेक्नोलॉजी को करने का, लेकिन उसमें प्रोसीजर्स भी तो हैं. जहां पे प्रोसीजर है वहां ह्यूमन बीइंग है. मान लिया डीएनए है, डीएनए का टेक्नोलॉजी में भी परफेक्ट, ऑलराइट, एग्रीड, बट जब आपने सैंपल लिया तो सैंपल में कोई टेम्परिंग तो नहीं है, सैंपल में कहीं आपने कोई मिसचीफ तो नहीं की, कोई मैनिपुलेशन तो नहीं किया, कोई अडल्ट्रेशन तो नहीं हो गया. तो द प्रोसीजर पार्ट आर ऑलवेज बीइंग क्वेश्चनड. Second, eyewitness is the primary witness, but in every case you may not get eyewitness. Secondly, as I said, that human testimony has so many limitations there may. So you have to have a corroborative system. So in my opinion, human testimony will definitely be existing, but its importance may decline, and role of forensic science or scientific temper or scientific inputs will increase. But there has to be a balance. We cannot totally depend on one, because there are chances of miscarriage of justice because of faulty science, faulty procedures. And these are, if you see the Innocence Project, which I referred to you, you will find all these issues also. And in these books which I suggested you, Junk Science and Autopsy of Crime Lab, these are wonderful depiction. All these three persons are close friend of mine. I'm not just giving the name of the book, recommended that they know me well and all, but genuinely I suggest you that you will learn a lot if you can read that, these things. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Anyone?
Yes, sir. Very good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Ojasvi this side. So I have a question. जैसे आपने बोला था कि एविडेंस, ज्यादा एविडेंस जो होते हैं वही बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट होते हैं, राइट? बट अगर कोई एक्यूज नहीं है और उसको एक्यूज करा जा रहा है और उसके पास एविडेंसेस नहीं है, लाइक जैसे एआई भी है, कोई फेक वीडियोस होते हैं, बट उसको इतनी नॉलेज ही नहीं है, जैसे कोई विलेज का इंसान है, उसके ऊपर कुछ एलिगेशंस लगा रहे हैं, और जो एक्यूज है रियल में उसके पास अच्छे खासा एविडेंसेस हैं फेक, जो लाइक प्रूव होते हैं, सही माने जा रहे हैं उसमें. तो एज अ जज वो उसमें जज है और उनको पता है ये वाली बात कि जो अक्यूज नहीं है, लाइक जो फार्मर है या जो भी पुअर पर्सन है, वो गलत नहीं है, तो आप क्या कर सकते हो उसमें, एक जज क्या हेल्प?
ओजस्वी, आपने तो थोड़ा, यू आर यंग, आपने वो अंधा कानून पिक्चर देखी है?
नो सर.
If few of you must have seen. अंधा कानून में जिस आदमी के मर्डर के लिए उसको सजा दी जाती है, वो सजा काट चुका होता है, उसका मर्डर वो उसी कोर्ट में आके करता है, कहता है कि अब आप मुझे दोबारा सजा नहीं दे सकते, डबल जियोपार्डी नहीं कर सकते, क्योंकि इस आदमी के लिए आप मुझे दोबारा सजा दे चुके हो, पहले सजा दे चुके हो. ओके, तो योर क्वेश्चन इज ऑलमोस्ट लाइक दैट. द प्रॉब्लम इज द जज, एज आई सेड, जज हैज वेरी टाइट हैंड. His hands are tight because he solely depend on the evidence collected by the party. Mainly एक और दिक्कत ये है, मैं इसका भी बहुत, इसे ह्यूमन राइट के से सोचिए और इसको कंपेयर करिए आप यूएस के से। हमारे यहाँ जैसे ही कोई क्राइम होता है तो उसका ऑनर कौन बन जाता है? पुलिस, इन द नेम ऑफ द स्टेट। अगर जो एक्यूज अगर उधर को घूमने कहीं वैसे गलती से चला गया तो उसे और कहेंगे कि ये एविडेंस के साथ छेड़छाड़ कर रहा है या मैनिपुलेशन कर रहा है। दिस इज आई थिंक नॉट ए वेरी फेयर गेम, क्योंकि इन्वेस्टिगेशन में जो रोल ऑफ एक्यूज है वो बहुत ही लिमिटेड है ही नहीं है कुछ भी। तो एक्यूज क्या करता है? जो प्रोसिक्यूशन की थ्योरी है उसमें छेद करता है, क्योंकि उसे कोई एविडेंस अपना वो कहां से लाए? ठीक है, उसकी एलिबाई होती है कि भाई जब मर्डर हुआ मैं लखनऊ में नहीं था, मैं तो बॉम्बे में था। लेकिन उस एलिबाई को कई बार प्रूव करना मुश्किल होता है। आप कैसे से प्रूव करोगे कि मैं, मान लिया आप 10 दिन पहले बॉम्बे चले गए, ठीक है, और मर्डर बाद में हो गया। कोई आदमी कहेगा आप तो गाड़ी से आ सकते हो, आप तो ट्रेन से आ सकते हो। तो एलिबाई का प्रूव करना इज नॉट दैट इजी, राइट? सो यू आर राइटली मेंशन that it is very difficult for an accused to say that I am innocent. It is the duty of the prosecution to rightly collect the evidence, and that is why there are two type of evidence. One is called exculpatory evidence and another called inculpatory. ये भी वर्ड लिख ही लो, मैं बीच में आई थी स्लाइड लेकिन मैं छोड़ दिया था, वो मुझे लगा कि टाइम कम है। Inculpatory means culpation means guilt, and in means those evidence which bring guilt into forum. That means they help to prove guilt and they support prosecution story. On the other hand, the evidence are called exculpatory evidence. Exculpatory means those who take you out of the culpation. That means guilt. They are called exculpatory evidence. They help the accused to prove their innocence. So inculpatory to prove guilt, exculpatory to prove innocence, right? तो अब ये दोनों ही एविडेंस किसको कलेक्ट करनी चाहिए? पुलिस को, ठीक? लेकिन हम करते क्या है? हमें तो उसको अपराध सिद्ध करना है, इसलिए हम सेलेक्टिवली ज्यादा फोकस किस पे करने लगते हैं? इनकल्पेटरी एविडेंस पे। तो ये तो हमें एज ए पुलिस ऑफिसर, हमें समाज में रहते हुए एज ए विटनेस, हमारा दायित्व है कि हम अपने काम को ठीक ढंग से करें, क्योंकि अल्टीमेटली कानून जो है वो कोई ना कोई एक्टर ही उसको इम्प्लीमेंट करेगा, चाहे वो पुलिस हो, चाहे फोरेंसिक एक्सपर्ट हो, चाहे विटनेस हो, चाहे कोर्ट हो, चाहे डिफेंस लॉयर हो। तो लॉ इज नॉट ए लाइव थिंग, लाइक उसको लाइवलीनेस कौन देता है? द डिफरेंट एक्टर्स, राइट? एम आई राइट? ओके, थैंक यू। सो shall we conclude now? I think we have exceeded 5 minutes time. I hope you may have the next lecture. So is it okay? I hope I could do justice in the morning. Okay, you enjoyed it?
Thank you.
I believe.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks a
Thank
lot
you so
to
much.
everybody. And my mobile number is 9838 2220. ठीक है, okay. I think it has been written on this chat box. You can just check and write. Okay. So see you. Thank you and all the very best. Enjoy the learning at NHRC, the best institute you are. Thank you. See you soon.
Thank
sometime.
you so much, sir.
Bye bye. Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Bye.
So interns, I hope you had a very informative session. We'll now begin with the next session that would be conducted by Dr. Pravin Sinha. He is a core member, NHRC. We'll begin shortly. Just be on the screens. Good morning, Pravin sir.
Good morning. Good morning to all of you.
So, with
You want
your
to have-
due
You have
permission,
to have 5 minutes break before I start because we just had an interesting session with Dr. Goswami. So maybe 5 minutes if you want, otherwise I can start.
so I think everyone has the morning energy to continue with the session. And with your due permission, I would like to take this opportunity to welcome you
Sure.
to the online short-term internship February 2026. So it's a pleasure to introduce you, sir. Dr. Pravin Sinha. He is a distinguished development economist and a nationally and internationally respected expert on labor relations and labor rights. Sir began his professional journey as a researcher and teacher of business economics, teaching for nearly a decade in Nigeria. He later joined a national cooperative organization in India and went on to serve as its managing director. Sir holds a PhD in political economy and has an impressive body of publications to his credit. Labor and labor organization have been the central focus of his academic and professional work. His latest book, containing Workplace Conflicts, Role of Social Partners, addresses the critical issue of resolving conflicts between workers and management. Sir currently serves as the Secretary General of the Indian Industrial Relations Association and is a member of the NHRC's core group on bonded labor and sits on the board of the All India Employers Organization. Sir is also associated with the Global Labour University and is a resource person for organizations such as the ILO, TIS, XLRI, and Global Union Federations. It's an honor to have you here, sir. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Sally. Thank you very much. And Happy New Year and good morning to all of you. Do I get any response from all of you?
Good morning, sir.
Morning,
Morning,
sir.
sir.
So,
Good morning.
And Happy New Year to all of you.
Morning, sir. Good morning.
I was briefly listening to.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Good morning. I was briefly listening to Dr. Goswami's interaction with you. Quite interesting, in fact. And it did give, I only heard about 5 minutes or so. So it did give a kind of connect between the law and the practices. Where he said that the law as document has certain limitations. And to give it a life and to give it enforceability is conditional on human interaction. And I think that is an important input I find for anyone who is connected or going to be connected with human rights issues. Let me take a few fundamental points before I step into the issue of labor code that has recently come. And in fact, today's news was with regard to labor code on industrial relations, for which rules are being framed. And the government has promised that it will come by Friday. We will look into that one also. But what I want to give a fundamental basis why we are looking at the law, how the human factor becomes important, and even when we have the AI coming in a major way, more so in India as well, you'll still find the relevance and importance of human factor within AI. Now, if I'll confine myself to the world of work, primarily Universal Declaration of Human Rights focus on Article 23, which basically talks about 4 issues: right to work, right to equal pay, right to decent remuneration, and finally, right to form association or union or whatever, or collectives. Before we start and looking at the current scenario, where we will discuss the thing that is happening in the world of work with regard to law and the labor code, let me give you a brief background. How it is important to us that we look into the law as an instrument for providing the rights that is accorded under the basic law of the country, that is constitution. And the emergence of constitution, specifically India, the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, universal based laws are almost coinciding with each other. The issue with regard to human rights became prominent during the First World War and more so during the Second World War, where the rights of human beings were violated either to capture a nation or to have excessive profit over the resource utilization. And it was more evident in colonial countries who were provider of labor force, while the colonizer were provided of capital. And if I briefly touch upon the history of pre-independence India, most of the colonial period, British Raj, where you find that the resources were utilized in India primarily to feed the industry in UK. But that is not only in the case of India. That has happened in the case of most of the colonies, whether you look in India, you look in Africa, you look Central America, and so on and so forth. And Britain was not only the one which could be accused of exploiter. The same goes with the Portugals, the same goes with Italy, the same goes with the Spanish. It's the basic character of a colonizer and colony. On one side, you have the exploiter. On other side, you have the person being exploited. And all with the purpose of making maximum return on capital. If you are a student of political science, economics, you may have heard the name of Adam Smith, who brought out the basic book, Wealth of Nations, which primarily look at 4 factors of production. In fact, 3 factors of production: land, labor, capital. Land was said to have been provided by the god, or it was there historically. And land not only means the land per se, but all the natural resources that are there, in the creation of which human beings have done very little. That was the theory of Adam Smith. Second was labor. Labor is something that has been provided, that has been given by the human factor. Till at that time, there was no difference between mental labor and the physical labor. Anything provided by the human work was considered as labor, and as such, that is second factor of production. And third one was capital. And the capital was nothing but the result of the labor and land. What was provided in the nature and what the labor did, a combination of both, and the output that became is the capital that is usable, or profit that is usable again in the creation of consumer and producer goods. Subsequently, there was further discussion. The capital, all those commodities that could be reused for the production of more goods became capital good, and all those goods that was used for consumption became consumer goods. Now, that was so far the economic theory went. Now, if you look at the period, pre-independence period, before the UN came into existence, 1945, the basis for UN coming to existence was the creation of a just society, an environment where weak and strong will be treated equally. Because before that, you found that anybody who was strong, he or she exploited the one who was weak. The strong could be colonizer and the weak could be those who are being colonized. If you take it in a lower level, anybody who is physically strong was exploiting the weak, and anybody who was weak was being exploited by the strong. The global thinkers who were there at that time, they said that this is not a sustainable position where humans are being exploited, human to earn extra return. It will lead to a larger population being unhappy because of not able to provide the basic needs of himself or those of his or her dependents. And as such, we have this United Nations being established, where it was agreed that that one country will not attack the other country either for resources, either for capturing the geographical region. They have to, if there is any confusion, if there is any contradiction of perception, they will come to United Nations and discuss the issues to resolve that one before attacking each other. That was the principle at that time. How far it has worked, we know what is happening these days. 2 years later, 45 and 48, 3 years later, it was, even in 45, it was felt that it is important to define what is right and what is wrong, insofar human beings are concerned. What is the right way to treat another human being? Because my right may not be your right. My level of treating a person as just may not be that of other person. And as such, it was felt necessary that we develop a global minimum standards wherein how the human beings are to be treated or the irrespective level of development. And as such, in 1948, we have 30 articles which form the part of Universal Declaration of Human Rights. What does it mean? It means that irrespective of religion, irrespective of gender, irrespective of caste, irrespective of level of development, these 30 articles has to be respected by all the member nations of the United Nations. And the 31st article was that it is not that I do one and forget about remaining 29. All are important, and all country had to make effort to respect all the rights that are guaranteed, all the articles that are specified in this Universal Declaration of Human Rights. Interestingly, during that period, 45 to take up to 47, 48, all those things. In that period was the period of countries becoming independent. India was also one of the country. One of the colony became independent in 1947, and in 3 years' time, we had our own constitution. In that constitution, you find that the fundamental rights, the seven fundamentals rights, are drawn from the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, which clearly indicates that there was a clear connect between the Universal Declaration of Human Rights vis-a-vis that of Constitution of India. Those who formed the Constitution of India, the Constitutional Assembly, they took into perspective not only the constitution of other countries, but also the articles of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. Consequently, it was declared that Indian Constitution is one of the best written in the world, and it is one of the most comprehensive constitutions. Another point that we need to learn from our Constitution is that it is not a religious. It is not addressed to the church. It is not addressed to any other religion. He said, we, the people of India, give ourselves. So it was given to all of us. We have developed constitution for us, irrespective of religion, irrespective of level of development, irrespective of gender. And as such, it is equally important for all human beings, irrespective of level of development and other factors that I have just mentioned. That is one thing. Second thing is that when we say that we have 7 fundamental rights, it is also indicative that these rights we have given to ourselves, and in electing our representative as administrative heads, either ministers or bureaucrats, we have made them responsible to create conditions for respecting those rights, so that all of us have these rights available to us. How it comes? Dr. Goswami said that insofar the documents are concerned, these are good, but bring that document into life is based upon our own effort. The human factor is involved. And in this case, the Constitution is regarded, any independent country is regarded as a base law, is fundamental law of that country, which not only gives the defines character of the nation, but also defines how that objective is to be achieved. Now, if you look at chapter 4, Directive Principle of State Policy, it clearly says how the government has to act in enabling the people to enjoy the rights that has been guaranteed under the Constitution. Now, when we say that the Constitution is chat, is the objective that all of us are trying to achieve. All of us means including government, including the politicians, and all those who are there. We are trying to achieve the rights that are guaranteed under the Constitution, which is the base law. That means all of us must enjoy this. It is not possible in one day that all of us start enjoying it. See, if we are on the ground floor, and if we want to go to the second floor, we have to find a way to reach the second floor. And that is what we call it, the steps. Now, here the law serves as a Siri. We enact law. And law has two components. One, the law that enables us to reach the objective that is defined under the Constitution, but also keeps in mind where we stand at the moment. Are we on the ground floor? Are we on the second floor? Or are we on the third floor of development? And as such, you find that when we became independent, we were not on a plain slate. Those leaders, the framer of the Constitution and the government that came into power, they said that, all right, since now we are politically independent nation, we need rules to manage the affairs of the country and also to see that how we reach the Constitution. How do we achieve the promises that we have made under the Constitution? And what did we do at that time? We adopted most of the laws that were there in existence. And we continue to do so till recently. I'm only taking the labor laws at the moment, the employment law, the labor law. That if you look at the law that are there that we had right from the time of independence till recently, almost 1,000 laws we adopted for one reason or another, for one fact or another. Now, what is law? Law frames conditions where those who have power, their power is brought down, and those who have less power, their power is increased so that there is a meeting point. Meeting point is defined where? In the preamble of the law. If you look at the law, same in the Constitution. In Constitution, you have preamble and articles. What does preamble means? Any comment? What do you mean by preamble?
Sir, it is the summary of the Constitution.
Okay.
In Malna.
In summary of the Constitution, what does it mean?
So, like, it covers all the gist of the Constitution, whatever the whole Constitution is trying to tell us in short form.
Okay. Anybody else?
So it's basically a key to open the minds of the framers.
Okay, that's good. What? Anybody else?
Sir, it's an objective.
Okay.
So it is the introductory statement of the Constitution.
Okay. All are fine. It is defined as soul of the law. One of you said that it's a summary. Another one says that it's a introductory. In collection, if you bring all your comments together, the preamble is a soul of the law. Preamble is soul of the Constitution. We, the people of India, guarantee ourselves A, B, C, D, 3. That's the soul. In the same way, law also has two segments. One is the preamble and the second is the content. The preamble articles. The preamble is intent or soul. What do we want? What we are trying to achieve? Like you said, that it's a summary. What we are trying to achieve is a soul. And that is the intent of the law. And intent is what? Intent is connected with the Constitution. So there is a link. See, three are connected. The law, the article, the intent, and the Constitution is collected. Because ultimate objective of all what we do is to achieve the promises that we have made